Hi, this is Marnie Marcus and Sue Painter back with the online business reality show, or Marnie and Sue's Peep Show, where we pull back the curtains on our lives and businesses and give you kind of a behind the scenes look at what's working, what's not. Sue is in sunny Florida.
I am in sunny Florida, and they have our entire house torn apart, painting it so there's not a place to sit and do the show. So I'm out at across the lagoon from where we live at the marina, and that's why the lighting is bad, because it's glass at the marina on all sides. You can see some of the boats out there. I don't know. So yeah.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Actually, you're in a good sweet spot to get.
Okay, good. I'm glad to hear it. So today we thought we would talk about, well, take questions if you have any questions. I didn't receive any by email, but Marnie may have some from the audience here in a few minutes. But Marnie did a little video that I really liked. And Marnie, I don't know when you did that, maybe the other day, but it was about drama and whether you are a person who attracts drama to you or whether you are a drama victim. And so she's going to talk a little bit about that video, the 3 kinds of drama that she talked about in that video, because I thought it was really useful. I like that you did it, Marnie.
Oh, well, thank you. I thought it might be something you could maybe relate to. I shut the window that had our thing open, so I'm really hoping that it doesn't make us go away. So
I go away, we'll come back.
Yeah, so hopefully it's the window that has the questions on it. So maybe you better check the questions. I don't want to accidentally log us out.
Yeah, I don't think I can. I don't have the dashboard. Yeah. Oh, wait. Yes, I do too. Hang on.
Yeah, it's just the main page that everybody goes to, for it.
Yeah, it just says this feature is disabled for me. So I think it can only be for you. So if you have questions, you could email it real quick to sue@confidentmarketer.com, and we could catch it that way, and I'll check my email here in a minute, Marnie, so maybe that would help.
Yeah, okay. All right, yeah, I got the page to load, so all right,
okay.
I don't want anybody to say anything, so hopefully we're still live and recording. It says we are. Okay, all right, sorry for the tech glitch. So it's been like, have you ever had where you have a month with a theme, like something just keeps coming up? So whether it's personal life or business clients, whatever, I keep seeing this drama theme coming up. And primarily the people in my life are not the ones necessarily causing the drama. They're not, the clients are not causing the drama, but there are people in their lives that'll, causing all this uproar behind them. And so I started to notice kind of a pattern of 3 distinct personalities when it comes to drama. And the first is the victim, the person who just manages to land in the drama all the time. Everything around them is just a drama situation, but they're not really causing it, but they seem to be sort of like saying drama wanted or something, not intentionally. I'm sure it's not intentional. So, but usually when I see that happen, it's like perhaps a family pattern of drama or what they grew up in. It just sort of feels like the norm. And so it's kind of the signal that's coming off that I'm open to drama. It's what I'm used to or something. I don't know. It's totally subconscious.
I think it is subconscious, but I also think that people actually get addicted to the adrenaline that happens when they're in a drama. I had a person I consulted for once years ago, and she never ever ran on time for really important meetings. She constantly ran late. She liked the drama of that. She was addicted to the adrenaline of at the last minute, can I do it? Can I get there in time? Otherwise she couldn't perform. And so, when we are in a drama situation, even if we're the victim of it, it still gets our adrenaline and our cortisol levels up, and we get addicted to that chemically, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. Which moves us to the second type of person, which I call a drama queen or drama king, who really has a serious addiction, and they will create drama if there is no drama. Like, I hear this a lot about
stir the pot, right? Stir the pot.
Yeah. If there's not any drama, they actually kind of get depressed. There's something's wrong, and when it's really just flat and normal. And then go on a level deeper, and this was what was coming up for a client of mine. That was like, this other person that they were dealing with was actually what I call a drama dictator, and that's somebody who wants to control not only their world but everybody else, and they kind of get a power You know, it's a power thing to be able to manipulate other people by causing drama behind the scene, you know, backbiting and saying this about one person behind their back and being nice to them. It's really probably more manipulation and leans toward the abuse end of the spectrum of somebody who's really trying to use it to manipulate people.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that is more subtle because it is manipulation, but it's manipulation of trying to create a drama and looking to get people stirred up when really they're not all that stirred up, you know, trying to get them like over to your side or the way that you think about things. And then the way that you think about things is a way that would stir the pot. So it is manipulation to me, kind of hooked with drama. You know, both of those are going on at the same time. Yeah.
I mean, in a comical way, and I'm not saying that Jerry Seinfeld was this, but he used to do that with George. Did you ever watch on the Seinfeld show?
Yeah.
He'd make it, you know, and he'd build it up so that George would get all even more, you know, upset, whatever it was, you know. So he's, you know, he kind of fed off of, let's get him all in a frenzy.
Right. I think it takes the better part of wisdom and a lot of discernment if people are trying to hook you into drama to say that, to hold firm and be in a place where you're not going to get hooked into it. So you have to keep your, you know, how sometimes on this show we talk about your ground of being. We talk about people who, no matter what, you kind of stay your ground. And you have to be willing to resist and walk away from drama. But I guess because it is addictive into our brain and into our nervous system, I don't know, Marnie. I mean, I think you have to find something that is an alternative that helps you turn your brain off of creating and craving and wanting that chemical. And I'm not sure how to do that if you've come from a long history of being in a drama situation. But I think it's critical to do that.
Yeah. With some of my clients, we've had some pretty good success using energy work to clear energy therapy type stuff to clear the root reason. But I still think it may be that, okay, you've cleared that. Now you're going to find the perfect therapy for you or the perfect way to redo your brain or whatever. I think the physical world still has to, you know, you still got to deal with stuff in the physical world, but it's sort of like the energy therapy can kind of move this stuff out of the way so that you can find a solution. And It's probably as unique as the individual as far as that goes. But it has to do with attachment patterns. If the main attachment person in your life was somebody who caused drama, then you can become addicted to the cortisol, and that's you look for people that create cortisol in you.
Yeah, and you have to take action and do other things that create cortisol for you. So, you know, you could do exercise, you could do deep breath work, you could do work about really finding the joy in things, because if you are a person who starts living from a place of real joy, then that joy also releases some of those same chemicals, and you can then switch pattern to where you become addicted, so to speak, to finding the joyful thing. Or, you know, the breath work can calm you down and change those levels and so forth. So those are some ways to get away from it. It is hard sometimes to change lifelong patterns, but that doesn't mean we can't do it. It just means that we have to be conscious of it and be sick enough of the situation we're in. But if you're getting something from that situation, then you're going to stay in it until you replace it with something that's even better.
Yeah. And one of the things that really has helped me is that I think a lot of people that have been surrounded with a lot of drama, they think that's normal.
Yeah.
And so for me, let's just take a marriage situation like I was in. I had always been around issues where marriage was not, I mean, men and women can't be friends, you know, I mean, it's like that Harry met Sally thing, you know, that was what I believed, you know, is that it just can't, you're not going to have that in a marriage relationship. So I didn't expect it. And then I started having like these couples that were brought into my life who had really good relationships. And I was like, you could have this, right? And so they started kind of stretching my thinking. So surrounding yourself with people who are not always in drama, who are happy, you know, because I think there's a belief that there has to be excitement or you can't be happy.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, there's some root beliefs that are off there. So surrounding yourself with people that are different than what you may have been conditioned to believe is a first step. I'm going to do that telesummit I'm working on that you're going to still let me interview you, right? For the
yeah,
one
for sure.
happy marriages. So, because that was the big thing.
Sure. Yeah. I think too that you have, it requires some discernment and some emotional maturity, because I do know families and friends who, and I tend not to want to spend a whole lot of time around these kind of people, but everything becomes like an emergency. Like, oh, you know, if they can't find a parking place in a mall parking lot, or if something breaks in the kitchen and makes a mess. And honestly, in the whole scheme of your life, you know, that's such a small thing. And so it really isn't what happens to you in life. It really is how you react to what happens to you in life. And making, you know, telling 5 people, oh, I spilled a jar of salad dressing and it went all over and it was a horrible mess, and calling 5 people and taking pictures of it and putting it on Facebook, all of it is agitated. And so when you do that, you get yourself hooked to what I call sweating the small stuff, or worrying about the small things. And do you really want your life to be about that kind of small, tiny drama? Whoops. Hang on a minute. I forgot to turn my phone off. Sorry about that. So anyway, so yeah, I really appreciate your doing that video, and I think it should be required watching for just about everybody.
Well, thank you. That kind of leads us into what else you wanted to talk about. It was like, it's not what happens to you, it's how you react to it.
Right. So I have a little story to tell that was very shocking to me, and probably will be shocking to the people who watch this. It is really not what happens to you, but how you respond to it, and what you put your mind to, so that you can manifest your way out of a bad situation. So I had a situation where I felt uncomfortable and ill in the middle of the night, early Monday morning, and woke up and thought something was kind of grabbing me by my throat. And I knew I had never felt like that before. So I woke Bill up and asked him to drive me to the nearest hospital here in Florida. And we got to the ER, and about 20 or 30 minutes after we were there, I had a heart attack and almost died. I coded completely. And they had to use the paddles to bring me back and cut my clothes off in the ER, just like in the movies where they have those scenes where they're cutting people's clothes off. So I've been in the hospital, and I just got home yesterday. I only spent 48 hours in the hospital, and that's what I want to talk about. In the middle of this, the reason we were in Florida is because we have our entire house torn apart right now. All of the inside of it is being painted. And not only that, we have everything out of all the closets and the pantry, because we have closet systems being installed. So you literally cannot walk in our house right now. There's no place to sit. There's barely a tiny place to sleep. It's a mess. Everything is just all glommed up in the middle of the rooms. It looks terrible. And that's why I'm here doing the show from here today. But when this happened to me, I mean, I don't remember any of that part. I woke up, the first I remember of all of this happening is I woke up when I was in the heart catheterization lab, and they were doing a heart cath to try to find out what was wrong with my heart. So I knew that we still wanted to do all of this and get this done this week. And I also knew that my life was really not about this heart attack, as much as it's a huge deal, and as much as I really did not want it to happen and am sorrowful that it happened. I don't want my life to be about it. And so I really focused when I was in the hospital on meditating and on visualizing my heart being strong, and all the blood thinners they were pumping me full of, going through and opening up any of the little clots. They only found one tiny little clot anyway. And really visualizing myself in a healthy and peaceful place, because let me just tell you, when you're in critical care ICU, it is not a peaceful place. There are teams of doctors and nurses coming out all the time checking on you. You're wired to the bed. You have to use a bedpan. You have to lay flat on your back with your legs fully extended for 8 hours after a heart cath. You cannot move, because they've cut into the femoral artery in your leg and they've plugged that up. And you're on blood thinners, massive dosages of blood thinners. So all I could do was tell myself, my life is not about this drama. This definitely is a drama, and it's one that I deeply, deeply regret has happened to me and to Bill. But my life is not about this. My life is about my work and my, the travels that I do with Bill and about being with him. So I consciously worked to calm myself down and to open my heart. And so I got out in only 2 days. They moved me from the critical care ICU to what they call the cardiac step-down unit after only 24 hours. And then 24 hours, and from there, I got released. So then I took everything over to my family doctor here in Florida to let him know what was going on. And he was just beside himself. He was like, I cannot believe they didn't keep you 4 days. You had a heart attack. You should be in the hospital. But then when he read all the testing, he was like, but your heart, there's no clots in your heart. You didn't need any stents. They didn't have to do any surgery. It's like, I don't even understand why you had this heart attack. So I can make it into a drama thing, and I can also be mad about it. And I can say, look, I've lost weight this year. I've drunk that nasty green pond scum every day of my life. I've exercised, very hard in the pool and in the gym. And I've started, I've eaten real healthy. I've done all these things. Like, I'm not a smoker. I've never smoked. I hardly ever drink, maybe wine once a week or something. I'm not diabetic. I really am a healthy person. Everybody in the hospital was like, number one, why did you have this heart attack? And number two, we can't believe you're doing so well. So that was 48 hours. It was not a pleasant 48 hours. But it's over and done. And Bill and I went today and ordered new furniture for our condo here. And, I'm going to go to the cardiologist tomorrow and check with him before we drive back up to Nashville. And it is not what my life is about. Just like my life was not about losing the use of my leg for a while. So it isn't what happens to you. It's what you do in reaction to what happens to you that makes all the difference. And, here I am doing the Peep show just as scheduled, and so glad to see Marnie's face. So it is thinking about that you have a choice no matter how bad things seem. I mean, I really did almost die. And yet I'm here and life goes on, and it's not about that.
Well, I'm glad you're here. Really.
Yeah, thanks.
It's gotta be scary. So, I mean.
Yeah, and I feel fine. I feel very tired because they pumped me through. They gave me 5 bottles of this really strong blood thinner. And like this morning, I reached up and just scratched my nose, and now my nose is bruised from that. So I'm going to bruise real easy for a while. But, it's not, we have so much we want to do, Bill and I have so much I want to do in my life. It's not about this. It's about moving forward and not getting stuck in it. But people who found out about it tried to make it into a big drama. Oh, when are you coming back? We'll bring you food. Do you need, like I was going to be an invalid the rest of my life. So it's better to me, it's better to think about what you can do to be very assertive in the hospital and not let them peg you as somebody who's weak and frail, and make them treat you as the person you want to be. And because I understand medical stuff, I have that background, and I'm a licensed healthcare provider, as a massage therapist, I know anatomy and all that kind of stuff. And I started using those terms, and when the nurses realized I knew what I was talking about, they treated me with a lot more respect. Now, I got excellent care, I have to say, so I have no complaints there. But at any rate, just whatever happens to you, no matter how big it is, I did learn the meaning of the term. All my life in the South, we say serious as a heart attack, right? I've said that all my life. I now know what that means. But it's nothing really. Where I'm going to go on about my life and my work, and Marnie and I'll do the Peep shows, and I feel really healthy other than being a little bit tired. And it's about putting myself in that frame of mind and manifesting wellness. And I spent 48 hours in the hospital lying there manifesting walking out of there. I did not manifest, how terrible is this going to be? I had a choice.
Yeah. What strikes me about what you just said is there's always people in our lives who are going to be happy to let you wallow in the victim story and I mean, you're commiserate and, turn it into something big. And it's really easy to go to the woe is me. Why did I have this? And, oh, I better rearrange my life or whatever. And you're just like, hey, it's a blip. I'm moving on. You know,
Yeah.
it's just, I don't know. I'm impressed.
No, well, thank you. Thanks. I mean, part of it is I learned it with my knee, and to be honest, a heart attack is an awful lot easier than what I have been going through with my leg for 3 years. It really is. Other than they, have me on 1,000 different medicines. So it's just a matter, I don't know, to me, it is like everything that happens to us, we have a choice, and we can say, I'm going to wallow in it, and I'm going to let other people around me keep me wallowing in it, or I'm going to move on. And I don't want to stay stuck in that energy. I don't want to stay stuck in that energy of a heart attack. I want to stay in a healthier, more whole energy. And energetically, I want things to come to me that are the things that we want in our lives and that I want in my business. I don't want energetically to be attracting disintegration and weakness and frailty. That's not what I'm about. I'm not ready to go there yet. Maybe in 10 or 20 years, I'll be ready to go there, but I'm not ready to go there yet. So it's not going to happen. I just allow it. I don't.
Ready to go there soon.
What?
I don't think you're ever going to be ready to go there. You'll be like a feisty little 100-year-old.
Well, I hope so. I guess we'll see, but I hope so. So anyway, that's the story. So you always have a choice, I guess.
Yeah.
And what else can we talk about? I'm done talking about that, but let's see. We were going to talk about, did we talk about video last week?
We touched on it.
Touched on it.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of ways to do live casting now. Like Marnie and I right now are doing a live cast, and there's also this Blab thing. Have you messed much with Blab or Periscope?
Not really. I watched a Periscope, but I haven't done
a Blab. You and I might do a Blab sometime, but that's just like a whole nother social media platform you have to build yourself upon. I really, over the last 3 or 4 months, have been thinking hard about what do I want to chase after and what do I not want to chase after. And I'm all about kind of simplifying things and being even more mobile and flexible with my time than I normally am. So I'm not so sure. I played with Periscope a little bit, but it seems frenetic to me. And because you got to stop what you're saying and start acknowledging all the people who are giving you hearts and stuff. And then that's off-putting to people. People don't want to listen to you saying, oh, hi, Sally. Oh, hi, Sue. Oh, thank you for the hearts. Oh, thank you, Marnie. I mean,
you have to do that. I mean,
that's one of the end thing to do. So I don't know if I'm going to be a big Periscoper. I might do some Blab things, but I love doing this with you, Marnie. I love the live stream where we can take questions and it can be meaningful to people, not just kind of crazy frenetic energy. So I don't know. I kind of think about what we were talking about last week. What are the things in my work that really give me joy? What do I really love to do the most? And what I love to do the most is teach and coach. That's what I really love to do the most. So all the systems that you can buy into, some of them can help you get to that place of doing what you most like to do. And some of them I honestly think are distractions. And there's so many of them now that you can't possibly be well-versed in all of them. So I don't know. I'm just weighing and evaluating that for myself. And I know you're a big believer in simple systems as well.
Yeah, keep it simple.
So, do you
email you some questions, because I don't think my thing is really updating, and we've got some viewers I can see, but I can't. I hope they're trying to say something. I'm sure they're trying to say something to you. I know, surely. So send a message to info@confidentmarketer.com, confidentmarketer.com, if you have a comment. Or
let's see. Hang on a minute, and I'm going to see if I have anything that's popped up in my email. No, I don't see anything right now. Let me refresh it and see if there's anything. So let's see. No, I don't see anything, Marnie.
Okay. Well, I know we had several people watching, so I didn't know if they were saying.
And I can't see when I do to the Q&A, it just tells me that it is disabled. It won't let me, it lets me bring it up, but then it says this feature is disabled, so I can't say anything. Okay, well, I guess we can cut off a little bit early unless you have something else to say. I'm all about right now, I just want to get the house put back together. So we're planning to head back to Nashville on Saturday. If the cardiologist tells me that I can travel in the car tomorrow, I'm going to be following up with him. And I will have to change. I was planning to go to New York on a business trip up to see my friend Michael Port here in about 5 or 6 more days. And I think probably shouldn't do that because I can tell that I just need to rest and really think about, you know, how I want to spend my time and my energy right now. He's kind of saying, take it easy for a couple of weeks and don't go to the gym and do heavy lifting for a couple of weeks. So I'm kind of not liking that, but I'll do what he says for a couple of weeks and then we'll see. I told the doctor, I'll take whatever you want me to take for 30 days and then be ready for argument because I'm not a pill person. And when you have a heart attack, they put you on so much medicine, you wouldn't believe it. So I'm not about that. So we'll see how it goes.
Correct the effects of the other pill to correct the other effects of the other pill.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to get into that much at all. So, okay. Are you having any kind of webinar or anything that you want to let people know about?
I've got the Breakthrough to Radiance class coming up in October, and that's where we're working on the drama thing and the savior complex and all of the other things that get in the way of us putting ourselves out there. So
yeah, cool. Okay, well, I guess we will see you guys next week. I'm not sure when it is on the calendar, but we'll send you a letter like we always do, an email, and we'll see you guys next week on the Peep Show. Be sure to send us your questions because otherwise you might get bored listening to us because we're just kind of making things up as we go along and let you know what's behind the scenes in our lives. It's good to see you, Marnie.
I think you gave us something to talk about today. I don't think they're bored. What link she will go to keep y'all entertained?
Yeah, believe me, that's the last time I want that one to happen. So, we'll see you guys. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.